Now the nominations and
Okay,
stuff.
but this POV ceremony was just the day after
Yes.
instead of 2 days later.
Yeah, I need to remember that.
So instead of like 2022,
Yeah.
24.
Yeah. So it's 6, 13, 20, 27, 34, 41, 48, 55.
And it'll be 62.
Yeah.
So the noms are the next day, then the POV, then the ceremony 2 days after that.
The only day that the noms weren't the next day
Was backward week.
was no. Oh, no. Yeah, backwards week and Will's. Wasn't Will's? He won on 27 and he didn't nominate till 29.
You're right.
That's the only.
Because we did the have not and we all got so drunk. Yeah. We were too hungover on 28. They gave us a break.
We had the snack bite challenge on 28.
That's right. And I remember because coffee and prunes and I was ready to puke and he gave me them terrible ones.
Yeah. So it is pretty random, but
It is pretty random.
I feel like
But if we just keep going over this continuously,
it's gonna be
between us, if we just keep doing this, it creates better to memory than I think to help.
Than just sitting there trying to memorize it.
Like some individual days that don't mean shit to me. It's like, oh fuck, I don't know. Like even when I heard that in the drunken speeches, I honestly couldn't tell if it was Jackie, Cass, or Netta.
Me neither.
So I knew it was either the second or the fourth week.
Yeah.
But not, I knew, and then they're like, I picked day 34 because I couldn't tell whose voice it was. And then I knew that Jackie had been up in both of those weeks.
Yeah.
And I thought it was her, but because I couldn't really tell if it was Netta or her or Cass, I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And it was just too, her voice for some reason
I
sounded
know.
so different on that.
There was a few that I had no idea. I couldn't tell.
But it worked out okay.
So then the vetoes would be 3, 15, 21, 29, 34, 36, 43, 50, 57. Oh, 55, 57.
Okay, we'll have to go over those again.
The vetoes?
Vetoes. 3, 15, 21, 29,
Yeah.
34,
34, 36,
34, 36,
43,
43, 50, 55,
57.
57. I'll have to go over those again.
I mean,
one more
honestly, if you
time.
just remember the HOHs,
Yes.
you can kind of figure out the
2
POVs.
days after, except for the 2 weeks.
Yeah, and backwards.
29, 21, and 29 are the screw-off weeks.
No, 29 makes sense because the HOH was 27.
Yes. But 21, we nominated on the 20th, and we did the POV before the HOH, which the HOH was on the 23rd. Yeah.
Remember,
What did we do on the 22nd?
Slot vote
Okay.
and POV ceremony. Netta didn't use it.
That's right. 22 slot vote. Okay, so 20 was the nom. 20 was the house vote, Dre and Gary. 21 was the POV. 22 was slop vote. And
I remember 22
yeah, how?
had 2 things.
Okay, 22 slop
22.
vote,
There's 2 twos, 2 things.
slop vote, and
POV ceremony.
POV ceremony that Netta didn't use.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to. I'm
was the HOH.
gonna have to rearrange my little gummy bears upstairs.
Yeah.
But really, it's the same. So it'll be Dallas had played in 0. Mark, Cassandra, Gary played in 1. Bruno and Kevin played in 2.
No.
Or Bruno and Cindy
Yeah.
played in 2. Netta played in 3. Emily, Jackie played in 4.
Emily, Jack, 4.
Me, you played in 6.
Yeah. No, 4, 5.
Now with the Baywatch one.
6.
6.
Nina
And
played
then
in 6.
Kevin, Dylan. Oh.
No, this is going to change.
Yeah, so me, you, Dre and William played in 6. Kevin and Dylan played in 7.
7 and Ika 8.
Ika's played in 8. So I'll have to rearrange the gummy bears
Yeah.
upstairs. And then we can just look at them. I find the gummy bears out, and this is the last time. This is going to be the last POV.
So William, Dre, me, and you played in 6. No. Is it ready? Listen to you. Yeah, is it ready? No. No, it is not.
Things I'm scared they're going to ask are like the tasks and stuff.
Like what?
I have trouble like what day the tasks were.
Oh, usually,
Oh yeah.
most of
Task
the time,
Tuesday?
Task Tuesday. Most of the time. Not always.
They might ask stuff like, we know that the big task that we had, Karen, well, the big challenge that we had, that was not the advantages that we've had this game. Karen won the advantage and Dre has won one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she won it on
Dre-
the Oreo.
Yeah, Dre won it on day 8. Karen
And I
won it
won
on day 39.
Yes.
The task, yeah.
Karen beat, nobody expected that. You
No.
beat every person in this house. And then you have the nerve to
When-
call yourself old.
When you ran up and you're like, check, I'm just like, what? I was like, did I just get schooled? It's like, fuck.
And the funny thing is I don't have on my glasses, so I couldn't hardly read it. And I'm like, okay, am I at 13?
No one, people are gonna like, if you were not here, you think the show's rigged, right?
Oh, totally.
Kevin pulling your name every single time.
People would
you
tell me.
winning that like, people will not believe that this stuff is real.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%, and I will be telling them on the streets
Because
when
you
they
would
ask
be
me,
one
I'll
of those
go,
people who thought this
do
is
you
not-
think I want to be with that kid for 1 second? Like, no.
Licking
You think
whipped
I want to
cream.
lick whipped cream off his face? They're like, but it makes for good TV. It does. Trust me, it makes for better TV when it's random ass shit that just happens, and you're like, are you kidding me? You keep putting me with this flipping kid.
You know what's funny? You know when I should have realized that Dre was that she just didn't like me?
When?
Do you remember? Well, first of all, when we got put on the block, she never gave us a hug. She sat on the couch while everybody else hugged
Yes,
us.
that was weird.
And then second of all,
She wanted you guys to go.
when we
One of
had
ya.
the slop, when I had that challenge and I had the slop, and in good fun, I was like, you guys call your peasants, you
Yeah.
call me a queen.
And she wouldn't do it.
And she'd rather people not have that pizza party than to sit there and call me a
And
queen.
I said to Dylan,
She was such a poor sport about
I
it.
said to Dylan, because you were still mad at me, or paranoid about me.
Yeah.
I said the only person she hurts in this, we'll see if she's this big a biatch, is me.
Yeah.
Because they were
I
the only
know.
ones that were having
I
on to
know.
me. Jackie had a
Listen,
slop pass.
If I had stood there and you guys had all told me to fuck off, I would have ate the slop. It was all in good fun.
And
Yeah.
I was like this, okay, Ika. And you're like, no, I didn't like the way you said that, but let's hear the way Karen says it. I go, okay, Ika. Because sometimes you got to tell your kids what they want to hear. It's like, okay, that makes you feel better.
She wouldn't do it, and she said, sorry, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So she'd rather put everybody not get their pizza party.
She was really thinking that it was like, that was a big thing with her. I saw that throughout the season where it's like,
I do remember
she
that.
would not, like, no, I don't
Yeah,
bow
especially like
down
why
to you.
was it hard for her to do that?
It was all in good fun.
Yeah, especially like she'd been your
But
friend
it's
the
like,
whole time.
it was like, because in the mind, it's like, you're not above me.
Yeah.
I'm actually above you. So why would I ever lessen myself to that? Where
It's honestly a joke.
But you know what I'm
to
saying?
have fun with it, you know. But she
Yeah.
wouldn't
But
do
it
it
is part of your personality too. Like that is you.
to just be jabby and be
And
like,
to
"Ah."
be like, oh yeah, well you're gonna tell me how.
Yeah.
It's like that woman. Well, you didn't see it. There's always the villain
Yes.
in the movies where it's like the beautiful villain that tells everybody, and they, you know what I mean? It was like that. You
And
were the
then-
beautiful villain that it was like, I'm not saying that.
So she said she's not saying it, and I was like, okay, I'll just eat it anyway. It
I
was-
mean, can't even believe how you got that down plain. I
Yeah.
couldn't have done
This
it.
is a
Water.
decent bowl too.
I could
had
not
to-
have done it.
I just kind of like put it in because it was so thick.
Oh, I could
couldn't
not have
swallow
done
it.
it.
Yeah.
So I had to grab William's water to kind of like moisten
I
it.
could
to just,
not.
Well,
I just
Yeah.
drank it honestly.
I don't know how
literally-
you did it, honestly. I could not have done that
I
plain.
wouldn't have let you guys not have a pizza party. If you guys had been like, you know what, Ika, you could fuck off.
I remember as
I'd
soon
say,
as
okay, and I'll eat it anyway.
as soon as we sat down, we found out what the challenge was. She looks at me. She's like, "I don't like pizza."
Yeah, I did hear her
Like,
say
oh,
that,
God.
and I said to
Like,
Dylan,
here we go.
the only one is she's gonna hurt with
It
this
would have been
is
you.
me.
Yeah, it would have been.
because everybody else was eating. You guys were suffering
Yeah.
nothing, and I thought if she's that big a biatch, we'll see.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
the
not that
only
big of a
one,
bitch.
and I thought, you know what? I've already starved this long. I don't really care if I don't get that same pizza I've had.
So you thought I'd really not do it?
I thought it was really, honestly, I was looking at you and I could see what you were saying to him. I was watching
I was saying
you
it
very
out
carefully.
loud so other people could hear.
I
Yeah.
was watching you and I thought, you know what? It just depends on the mood she's in.
No, I wouldn't have done
No,
that.
yeah, it was-
When it comes to the spirit of the show, I wouldn't have done that.
And then when Dre,
I wouldn't have done it.
I thought, well, we're going to have a holdout here. Like Dre wasn't going to do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I knew Dre was not going to do it.
I knew she would have done it anyway.
Dre,
You knew
No,
I would have
I
done
knew
it.
I
yeah,
couldn't
he
do
knew I
it.
would have
Dre
done it.
was not doing
Like
it.
when it comes to like the
I
spirit.
just don't see how. Like, I see what you're saying, but it's like, of all the people to be like, I'm not doing that. It's like,
It
Dre,
would-
like, why is that so hard for her? But you're right. That is a sign that
That was a
that she
sign.
resented you.
Because it was honestly all in good fun. I had the worst one.
but there was a lot of those moments where you were doing that and she would be like,
yeah.
like they can all do it because they're beneath her, but I'm not.
yeah.
I saw that.
But it was honestly all in good fun. It literally was.
I did see that though. It was, and I don't know. Maybe it's just you're young women, and it's like maybe it was just a thing in her head that it was like,
I never saw her. I've never been jealous of her or saw
No.
her in a way where I was like
No.
never, ever, ever.
No.
Like not one time. I promise. Like
yeah.
nobody.
No,
in this
I didn't
house
see
ever.
that. I didn't see that in you.
Never. It was honestly.
But it's just the
all in
air
good
that you
fun.
have where it's like you do, and if it was somebody that felt a little bit insecure
then
about
it
somebody
brings
else,
it out. Yeah. You're right.
it's like the Netta Cass thing.
Yes.
It was so transparent that Netta felt that way about Cass.
Yeah,
but
she was
Cass
very- Cass-
literally was in the higher order.
Yeah, she was. Netta felt very insecure
She
around
did.
Cassandra. She did.
very much, and you could see it.
She did.
Well, what?
Even
She thought because Cassandra.
she told me, Cass told me that it was a long stemming thing.
It was
from like
after the
she
show.
was this queen on
She
season
was,
2,
okay.
and they're from like the Persian princess mentality.
I'll tell you something.
Okay.
When I watched season 4, right?
Okay.
I went on the social media and I
Yeah.
wrote, Cassandra is hands down the best female player to have ever played this game because she killed it in her season.
Yes, she did.
And Netta did not like that. Because she was like how
Netta
she got.
really thinks that she believes in her own. I guess.
Yeah, she believes in her own height. Like how Cassandra got
And
herself.
I always say, don't ever believe your own hype.
How she got herself out of these situations was
Yes.
unreal.
Yeah.
And that's why
Sabrina
Cass
was very
thought-
similar. She did the same.
That's
Sabrina
why
was
Cass
more
thought
similar,
she
but
could
more
do it.
unlikable.
That's why
Yeah.
Cass thought she could do it. Cass was convinced, and I kept saying, no. And I knew she was a liability. And yes, could we have flipped it around and
Yeah,
saved
we
Cass?
could've.
Could absolutely.
Yes, we
You
could've.
know we could have.
Yeah, we
But
could've.
what was the best game move?
Or was to get rid of her.
Yeah.
Not because we
It was
loved
the
her, it was to
liability.
get. She was too much.
She was
She
too.
was
too much.
Here's the thing. What happened is she was trying to play two sides too hard, and
Yeah,
that
she
gets
was.
you
It's
out
true.
the door.
Yeah.
It's true.
You are a liability. When you start doing that, when you're supposed to be with people, I
Yeah.
saw that, identified that. It's like, no. Could we have convinced? I could have
Oh, we
convinced
could
you guys
we could
Yeah,
have
you-
kept her.
to
Yeah.
Yeah.
say,
could've
like,
kept
we
her.
need to keep her.
Because we had the votes.
Yeah.
The only thing I regretted that I didn't push was that I wanted to get rid of Dre. You know I
Yeah,
did.
she did because Karen came in,
And that almost cost me my game.
When you left, Demetres,
because she was fighting against me so hard in the back, and I knew she was.
But Demetres, when Karen left that room, we discussed it for like a couple hours.
Yeah, we did.
discussed it over and over and over.
For me, the best game was to keep him.
There was no decision that we just overlooked.
Oh, we talked about it for
We
hours.
talked the Dallas one. We talked about for days.
But for your games, keeping Dre was better.
That's what we thought. When it
So
came
I
down
mean,
to it,
when you're in power, you do get the ultimate decision. But from Karen's game, keeping Gary was the best decision.
I think for him, what I was saying to him was, Gary is better for the show, and I kept on saying that for him.
100%.
But I kept on saying
that personality.
Oh yeah, it was devastating. They were devastated when he left.
Oh,
yeah,
completely.
Even in the house, everybody could feel it.
He was so awesome.
And I think that's what I kept on saying to him. And I was saying, if I was at home watching, I would want him to stay over her.
Yeah.
And that's
And I
why.
kept on
That,
Me
and
too.
You could tell when I evicted him, the crowd was like.
Oh, and I would say that to him. I'm like, for the show,
Yeah.
I want to keep Gary for the show.
Yeah.
But for our game, it's not the best.
No,
game.
she was the best for you, but it worked out the way that it should have anyway. I mean, I lost my friend, but it's actually in the end she didn't win, but
No, she
but
didn't.
she was trying. And at
and
one
in the
point,
end-
she went up to the 3rd floor, and I went to the 4th floor,
Yeah, no, you're right, Karen.
and then I went out the door.
She will